Oh, well, what's up, YouTube fam? Um, we're gonna be doing something a little bit different today. I really I just want to talk. And if y'all don't mind, that's what I'm gonna do. Uh, just a few topics that I feel like that a lot of people are just glazing over. A lot of people don't seem to be talking about them. A lot of people talk about them like they don't matter. One thing that I find extremely frustrating is that it just becomes norm. It becomes norm. It just it's something that people don't worry about, something people don't talk about, and it's becoming kind of disgusting to be around in general. Humanity, I mean. Um uh I was actually watching a video last night of my guy Milk 74. He was talking about Adam 22 and Crip Mac and China Mac. And I ain't trying to get involved in this gang shit. I ain't trying to get involved in this fucking this world, okay? But I want to tell you that I'm paying attention. I'm seeing what's going on and it's disgusting. I watched this video of Adam 22 talking about going to a sex party and like how his friend's girlfriend was like her goal was to sleep with 30 men that night or something like that, and everybody was cool with it. Like this is the world that this guy exists in, and this is the world that him and all his homies exist in. This is a world I don't want to be part of, and this is a world that Milk 74 probably don't want to be a part of either. He was on, I believe he did do one podcast with Adam 22, and he had him asked him some questions when he was there. He was super respectful to him. But then after he left and all this stuff with Crip Mac came to a head, they started talking smack about him. Um, he dude. Adam 22 is a weird perv, dude. He's a weird perv. He thinks he's hot shit, and he's really not. He he thinks he's the best podcast in the world. I First off, Joe Rogan's the best podcaster in the world. That's hands down. Right, followed up by Russell Brand. Um, under the skin, Russell Brand, anything Russell Brand has to do. I mean, if you haven't watched him, watch him, dude. He's got a lot to say. He covers a lot of incredible topics that really need some attention, and he does a great job. Um, Adam 22, little house phone, Crip Mac, China Mac, all these guys that are involved in this glorifying gang world, dude. Like I I know Melk's a gang member. I know Melk's a white boy from the hood, and I know Melk is in a gang and whatnot. But he ain't glorifying shit. He ain't glorifying being in a gang. He ain't glorifying that lifestyle. He's really not. He's just telling stories. That's all he's doing. And he's calling other people out on their bullshit, and they don't like it. I guess if I was a lying two-faced piece of shit, I probably wouldn't like it either. So I guess I can't blame them for getting a little frustrated about being called out on being fake. Uh, that is one topic that I feel needs to be addressed because Adam 22 is a threat. He's a threat to our children. He's a threat to our communities. He's a threat to our way of life. He's a threat to YouTube. He seems like a bad person, man. And if you're a fan of his, then just hit that subscribe button and unsubscribe from me, please. I don't I don't want nothing to do with him, dude. I think he's a dirtbag. Um, that being said, y'all need to go subscribe to Milk and listen to what he has to say because I'm telling you, dude, the guy knows what he's talking about. And if you think that he's fake, if you think that he's a white boy claiming gangster and claiming to be from the hood. He's actually from the hood. He grew up in the hood with a black family, a black mom, black sisters, aunties and uncles, and that's his lifestyle, man. He's not some guy that just came into the hood and started pretending to be from the hood. He's from the hood. He's from the street. He's from that world. Now you got to listen to his story, man. It's really fun. Uh, really fun to listen to. Um, there's other things um that aren't being addressed in this world, man. Like that is just what it is, man. It's not something that I'm going to spend too much time on, but I just felt like I'd share my feelings on it because I watched a bunch of videos on it last night. I did a lot of research on these two people, on Crip, on Milk 74, and on Adam 22, and I don't like Adam 22. I'm sorry if you don't like me because I don't like Adam 22, but I'm okay with that. I'm just fine with that. I ain't worried about it. Um, Another thing that I would really like to get into is these kids nowadays. I feel like we're letting our kids be soft while thinking they're hard. I feel like we're letting our kids walk all over us and the world, everybody around them. Um, I mean, for instance, when I was a kid, dude, if I came home and I had a bus driver, my bus driver was an asshole, dude. I had first my bus driver was cool. I had a really cool bus driver, and he retired, and we got this new bus driver named Norman, and I hated him. I hated his guts. Everybody on the bus hated his guts. We would piss in bottles and fucking leave him on the bus for him to find. We'd take drags of cigarettes and blow him in his face when we got on the bus, and I mean, we tortured him. We tortured him, and he didn't like us for good reason. We were shitheads. Um, Growing up, like I'd come home and I'd be like, Norman's being an asshole, and my dad'd be like, well, what'd you do? He never, not once did he go, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna go talk to him. He was like, what'd you do? Why is he being an asshole to you? What'd you do to piss him off? If he knew half the shit that I did, dude, I would have gotten my ass kicked. For sure. My kids come home from school and they have issues with the bus driver. And this happens all the time, man. They come home and my son's like, he put me in an assigned seat and he won't let me move. And I said, why? He said, well, because I threw something at somebody on the bus. Well, don't do that. Maybe I don't know. He's doing his job. He's an underappreciated person doing his job. He's transporting between 30 and 60 kids on the bus. He's got all these kids' lives in his hands, driving them to and from school, picking them up, bringing them to school, and y'all treat him like shit. Y'all fucking make him out to be the heel, out to be the bad guy. And he ain't the bad guy, man. All he's doing is trying to do his job. And he's getting shit on by children and parents alike. Now, granted, I'm not gonna say that there ain't some shithead bus drivers out there. There ain't some guys out there trying to make your kid's life hard. But 90% of them are just trying to do their job, man. And we've become such a soft society that the first thing we do when somebody hurts our kids' feelings is we go and try to ruin their life. Let's get him fired. Let's make him lose his job. His livelihood doesn't matter to us. All that matters to me is that my son feels good about himself. Well, not me. I don't care if my son feels good about himself if he doesn't care about how he makes other people feel. If you're not worried about how you make other people feel, then I don't care how you feel about yourself. it stems right down to the teachers. It's the teachers too, man. I mean, like, there's plenty of teachers out there that are there just to do their job. They're just trying to teach your kids. They're just trying to do what they can do to make sure that your kids get the best education they can get. And these kids want to act like shitheads in class. They want to throw things and talk and stand up in class and make jokes and make light of the situation and completely ignore what the teacher's telling them. And I feel like a lot of parents, as soon as this happens, the parents jump on this bandwagon talking about, I'm gonna go in, and I'm gonna make sure that this teacher gets fired. Did you get both sides of the story, or are you just gonna take your son or daughter's word for it? Because we all know kids are fucking liars. Now, I would like to say my son's not a liar, but my son's lied to me plenty of times. I think everybody's kids have lied to them once or twice. So, put in that situation, the best thing to do is get both sides of the story, find out what's going on, come up with a solution, and move on from there. But if your first reaction is I'm going to go and ruin this guy's life, then or this person's life, then you really need to step back and take a look at yourself, man, because uh, I feel like a lot of people out there want their kids to be honored. They want their kids to be special. Well, your kid's not special. If your kid didn't do anything to be special, then your kid's not special. That's what it is. That's all there is to it. And that that's going to bleed over that whole mentality that we're feeding into our kids, that whole mentality that we're letting our kids think that they're special, think that they are above the system. It's going to bleed over into their future. That's going to bleed over into their adulthood. And you already see it happening with the way police are treated. Police have a super dangerous job, super serious job of protecting the community and protecting us. And I would say 75 to 90% of the cops out there just want to do that. They just want to do that. Now, granted, there are some assholes out there. There are some prick cops out there that are out there to make your life a living hell. But it wouldn't matter if they were a police officer, a bus driver, or the guy making your sandwich at McDonald's. If that guy is in that position, it doesn't matter where he's at. His goal is to make your life a living hell because his life is a living hell. And that's all there is to it. There's no two ways about it, man. Like, if you're a bad person, you're a bad person. It doesn't matter what kind of uniform you're wearing or what kind of clothes you're wearing or where you work at. If you're a bad person, you're a bad person. Enough said. Now, that being said, you also need to take into consideration that a lot of people want to point the fingers right away. They want to point the finger at the police officer for hurting somebody. But what did that person do? It goes right back to my bus driver made me mad. What'd you do to make that bus driver mad? What'd you do to ruin that bus driver's day? What'd you do to get put in a assigned seat? Like, what'd you do to get shot by the cops? If a cop pulled out a gun and shot you, there's probably a good chance that you did something to deserve that. I'm sure that pulling out the gun and shooting you was not the first line of defense that he had. I'm sure it was, uh, get down on the ground, put your hands behind your back, comply with my orders, do not attack me because I'm a police officer and I'm holding a gun. And if you attack me, you're gonna get shot. Oh, you got shot. I mean that's all there is to it, man. Like I don't this it's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle. It's a disgusting cycle that's starting from childhood that we are letting our kids believe that they are special and they are above any sort of authority. I'm sorry, but you're kid. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care where your kid goes to school at. I don't care what your fucking last name is. If your kid did something to deserve to be in trouble, they deserve to be in trouble. They're not above any kind of authority. They're not above any kind of discipline. If you think they are, then your kid is going to grow up to be a shithead and probably a criminal. And if not a criminal, then probably a crooked politician. Like, we all need to sit down with our children and explain to them that the world is not theirs. The world does not revolve around them. Nobody gives a shit about you. If you want people to give a shit about you, give them something to give a shit about. Give them a reason to care. Give them a reason to think that you're worth their time. I just feel like it's becoming worse and worse and worse. I don't see it getting any better as time goes on, and I'm so worried because I have a 3-year-old daughter, and she's my princess, dude. I love her. She could do no wrong in my eyes, but I I I know that she will. I know that she will do wrong. I know that she will get in trouble. She will come to a situation where I feel I need to defend her. And I'm telling you right now, teachers and bus drivers alike are going to hate my guts because they're going to be like, oh man, here comes Adeline's dad now. Like, you fucking, because I'm a defensive guy. I automatically want to defend my daughter. I want to make sure that nobody's hurting her. But put in that situation, I need to make sure that I get all of the facts before I make a move. I get the entire story before I make a decision about what I'm going to do. Because chances are I'm going to make the wrong decision if I don't. I don't know. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you think about this, man. I mean, if you guys think this video was good and you like me talking, you liked hearing what I had to say, you liked my opinion on things, drop a like in the comments, or drop a like on the video. Drop a fucking message in the comments for me. Tell me what you think about this. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and I'll keep doing this. Do it once in a while. I'll drop a podcast and share my input on current events, things like that.